Good afternoon. My name is Laura Irvin, and I would like to thank you for inviting me to speak with you today. Today, I'm going to speak and review the importance of history and historical analysis. I will then review the primary sources found in the American Historical Imprints database and the two acts about reducing interest rates in 1763 Georgia and another act of 1755 explaining how Georgia imposed a rule explaining how people within the colony should not complain or state that the General Assembly cannot enforce laws. So to begin, the mission of the Daughters of the American Revolution is to encourage patriotism, preserving history, and securing America's future through education. The following sources that I have chosen explains why historical analysis is important, and it coincides with your ideas of preserving history and encouraging education. Historical analysis understands the past and how it influences decisions. So learning how to read, write, and analyze history, it helps to explain cyclical trends and influences how people react to information. So the first act on interest rates historically explains how individuals in Georgia react to an increase in prices due to an increase on interest rates. The relevance of this particular primary source clarifies how people in the past responded to changes in economics. It is particularly relevant since the United States is currently undergoing an increase in interest rates. The ability to review the way in which interest rates have affected people, specifically those in Georgia, where I live and you live, helps us to use historical evidence to review the way in which interest rates have historically affected colonists or citizens. One way the act explained that it affected colonists was to discourage planters and others from improving their lands. They determined that any interest over 8% was too high a percentage and the interest must remain at £8 or lower. Currently, the interest rate in the United States is at 6%, with the Federal Reserve stating they will be increased in the 2022-2023 year. So historical analysis allows us to review this information in these primary sources from this database and review the way in which maintaining an interest rate of a specific percentage affects Georgia. It allows us to compare the ways in which Georgians have historically reacted to the interest rates. The other act explained how the General Assembly enacted an act explaining how it would impose penalties on those who opposed laws created by the Assembly. That allows us to infer citizens or colonists were obstinate in their belief about following acts or regulations created by the General Assembly. This can also be relevant to today. Many people protest, disobey laws, or voice their opinions in regards to current laws or situation. You can see their discontent on Facebook, where they could be perhaps jailed for their content, or on different types of TikTok or other social media. All of these ways in which they anger their government can be shown and viewed. It is important, though, as a member of history, that we must be careful not to anachronistically place ourselves in others' shoes or times. We must be ensuring that we do not put ideas or thoughts of that time period in today's worldview. As the daughter of American Revolution, it is important to uphold the history and maintain standards and to review that information, which I'm sure you all do. But by using this type of document, it allows us to make connections through big pictures, ideas, concepts, and skills, through historical literacy, allowing us to analyze, read, and review information. Thank you so much for inviting me.